everybody. Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. 3,000 point battle using the Legion rules, and this is game one of a local gaming store tournament, the local store that I'm always at. And just a three-game tournament, one day, just for fun. And well, I mean, there was store credit and stuff like that. But this is game one of three, and it was me, Lord Tremendous, versus the Beastman, the Chaos Legion. Basically, his list was a bunch of Beastman stuff with just a little bit of words cast thrown in there for flavor. But now that, the Chaos Legion book has been released, he can actually field his Beastmen and not be embarrassed to do so. So sit back, relax, and get to see how I do in game one of this local tournament.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and there has been a few slight changes, mostly with the kits that I take on my characters. I still have my Vampire Lord, Lord Tremendous, and the Zombie Dragon. He's still a level 2 wizard. He still has heavy armor, because going into a combat naked is a mistake. I took off the Sword of Might and gave him the Sword of Anti-Heroes. I figured with the huge base and everything like that, and Red Fury and Quick Blood, every extra attack I could get at a 1+ strength per character that's in there, especially when I get hit in the flanks and in the front by multiple characters, I figured it'd be worth it. So, I threw it on there. It also gave him the Enchanted Shield, Talisman of Preservation, Other Tricks of Shard, Red Fury, Quick Blood, and Lore of Vampirism now. That's right. I don't have the cards yet, but I did finally switch over to Lore of Vampires, so everybody get off my back. Then, of course, I have my Lich High Priest, Queen Elizabeth. She's a level 4 wizard with a Dispel Scroll, Opal Amulet, and Lore of Nehekara. I figured a 4-up ward on the first wound was better than a 6-up ward every time, because with a little luck, I can get her a 5-up ward, during my magic phases. So I gave her the Opal Amulet just because. My hero choices are my Tomb Prince, Dark Vincent, with a great weapon, armor of silvered steel, and a luckstone. And, of course, my Necrotech, Sinister Jeffrey, who now just has the Dragon Helm and the Iron Curse icon, because he has 2 uses, giving my, Arcane Constructs a 6-up regen, and Hatred. After that, I don't care if he dies. My core choices are 5 Dire Wolves, 10 Skeleton Archers. I swapped out their Musician for a Banner because it's rare that I'm going to make a 5-up leadership for their Swift Reform, so screw it, I'd rather have the Fortitude. So they got a Banner. Then I have my 58 Skeleton Warriors, the Fateless, with full command, light armor and shields, and my 14 Skeleton Archers, the Queen's Guard, with full command, and 3 Chariots, Rolling Bones, with Musician, Banner, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. My special choices are 5 Hexwraiths, 3 Vargheists, 3 Medusa Stalkers, those that gaze, Chimerian War Sphinx with Fiery Breath, and my rare choices are my Hyro Titan, Nad the Protector, my Screaming Skull Catapult of Fail, and my Casket of Souls. Here's my opponent's list, and this is straight off his notebook, so take it or leave it. He has a Demon Prince, the Warriors of Chaos type, who was a Mark Slaanesh level 3 wizard with Chaos Armor and Wings, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, Other Trickster's Shard, Scaled Skin, Soul Feeder, and the Lore of Slaanesh. He also has a Doom Bull with the Mark of Slaanesh. It said hide and ram. I don't know what that means, but he had it written down, so I wrote it down. If you know the Beastman, then maybe you know what this means. If not, well, then congratulations, me and you're on the same page, because I don't have a clue. He also had the Sword of Swift Striking, which we all know what that does, the Dawnstone, Heavy Armor, and the Shield. His hero choices were a Wargore with the Mark of Slaanesh, Armor of Silvered Steel, Iron Curse Icon, and the Great Weapon. I also believe that was his BSB. He had 2 Brave Shaman. Both were Mark Slaanesh, level 2 wizards. One had the Hag Fetish and used the Lore of the Wild. The other had a Dispel Scroll and used the Lore of Beasts. His core choices were a unit of 30 Gores with Mark Slaanesh, Extra Hand Weapon, and Full Command. He had 2 units of those 30 Gores with Mark Slaanesh, Extra Hand Weapons, and Full Command. He had 2 units of Raiders with Mark Slaanesh and a unit of 6 Warhounds. His special choices were 6 Minotaurs, which scared me to death, with Mark Slaanesh, Extra Hand Weapon, Full Command, and the unit champion had the Armor of Black and Steel, which I think gave him some saves against flaming attacks, and a unit of 30 Bestigors with Mark Slaanesh, Full Command, and the War Banner. And then his rare choices were 2 of those Razor Tusk things, which were just too creepy to live. The scenario for this particular game was called Token's Token. Basically, the tournament organizer at the local store just used the Rock Wars scenarios because they were fun. Basically, in this one, though, you place a token in your deployment zone, and then after you place it, it doesn't affect the game in any way other than the only thing that can come in contact with it after that is is your opponent, and only if the unit that's coming into contact with it has fortitude or generates fortitude in some way, shape, or form. Also, it was the Dawn Attack deployment. That's the one where you randomize any unit that didn't have Fortitude had to randomize where they were going to go on in your deployment zone. Any unit that did have what's it called? Fortitude, that did generate Fortitude, they got to go. You got to deploy them however you saw fit. The extra battle points for this one was +1 battle point for controlling the opponent's token at the end of the game, and +1 battle point if your opponent never touched your token. So bad touching tokens is a no-no. Here's deployment, and I did my surround and conquer thing. I didn't care about my token. Mine's over there on that hill on the right side, my right flank, and his is behind that big rock formation, impassable terrain that you can't see it. On his left flank, our right. I put my chariots up next to it just in case anything was froggy enough to try to go after it. As you can see, he's got a unit of raiders over there that I thought might have been trying to get froggy. I have my Titan, Dogs, Archers, Skeleton, Warrior combo going on over there just because they all really nicely complement each other. I also put the War Kitty next to him just because I thought maybe if I could get him into the Demon Prince, I had a chance. My Vargeist, Vampire Lord, and unit of Proxy Tomb King archers there, or Tomb Guard archers anyway, are on the left, more left center, I guess, and their job is anything that comes through those little towers on the left or down the middle are going to get charged and dead. And then, of course, my useless catapult is on the left there to do, well, mostly nothing. I was hoping he was going to kill some infantry, maybe even make them flee, but then I thought, oh no, everything is Mark Slanesh. Nothing's going to flee. So that was kind of what I was thinking when I was deploying, but, now you know. Here's my opponent's right flank, which consists of, from left to right, his unit of Warhounds, his Razor Tusk, I think, and a unit of Gores with a Bray Shaman installed. Here's his center, which consists of his Slanesh Demon Prince, his Minotaurs with Doombull installed, a unit of the black base-coated models are the Bestigors, and his War Gore with the BSB, I believe, is in there. And next to them is another unit of Gores with a Bray Shaman. I believe that's the little bastard that had the fetish. And here's his left flank, which consists of a handful of Raiders. Here's my right flank, which consists of my Chariots. And here's my center, which from right to left is my Titan, my Casket, my Dogs, my Skeleton Warriors with Necrotech and Tomb Prince installed, my Skeleton Archers, my War Kitty, my other unit of archers that look like Tomb Guard, and some of my Vargeists. And my left flank, which consists of my Dragon Lord, my Skull Catapult, and my Hex Race. Here's top one after movement, and I didn't get to go first. Basically what you see is everything just shoots forward. 2 units of raiders come on the table as ambushers because beastmen ambushers, I guess, come on turn 1, and they came forward as quick as they could. The 2 units come over on my side there, and one of them comes up, ends up rolling like a 1 and comes up on his side of the table because I got to choose where they go. The other unit of raiders that he had moves up as quick as they can. A Razor Tusk moves into the center. I knew it was bait for my chariots, but I wanted the Razor Tusk dead because I figured my chariots could handle the little raider guys. I wasn't 100% on that, but that was the hope. What's it called? His Beast of Gore. Everything else just kind of funnels forward. And not as fast as it can, but he makes a steady march forward and stuff like that. Even the dogs come up to sacrifice themselves to the Hex Race. So it was something. It was something. Nothing happens in his magic or shooting phase. I'm able to dispel his magic phase, and his shooting phase is just either it marched or it was out of range or it didn't do anything. So we go to bottom of 1 after movement, and I got to go. My Vargeist charged his Warhounds and got a hold of them, which was pretty nice. My Hex Race move up to do their thing. My Dragon Lord, he runs over and hides over by the tower. The idea here was his Minotaurs charge me in the front, and my War Kitty is able to charge him in the flank, and the combined charges and everything like that, the Minotaurs and the Doombull get squished dead, and I kill off that pesky, scary unit, and then I can work on everything else with the Kitty Dragon Lord combo. That was the plan. You'll see how that works in a little bit. Meanwhile, in the middle, my warrior skeletons don't move at all. The kitty gets ready to countercharge the minotaurs, and the titan and the casket get ready to try to deal with all these pesky raiders on my right flank. And my chariots charge into the razor tusk thing because it has to die. Here's a better picture of my chariots making their charge into the razor tusk thing, and that was good. And there's a better picture of my Vargai slamming into his warhounds, and I'm happy to get rid of those early too. My magic phase is actually easily dispelled by my opponents, so we go into shooting, and my archers, the Tomb Guard archers, actually on the hill there, they fire at the Minotaurs and wound 3 times, and all 3 wounds make it through. So one of the Minotaur gets stapled to the ground, and that's awesome. Then over here, this fucking thing, I'm sorry to swear, but I'm getting real tired of this catapult. It fires direct hits right on the Bestigors, and of course I misfire 4, so it can't shoot this turn. Ugh, that's happening way too often. With all that said and done, we go over here into combat, and my chariots are able to kill off the Razor Tusk. I do take a wound for my trouble, but then I turn to face his raiders because I figured they were going to charge. I want him in the front. I did not think what was going to happen ended up happening. And then over here, lo and behold, my Vargais were able to take out the dogs. I know, stunning. So we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and you're looking at it. His Bestigors charge into my Warhounds, and that's fine. That's what they were there for. His Minotaurs charge my Dragon, which was also the plan. I didn't realize how badly I screwed that up, however, and his Bestigors, or I'm sorry, his Minotaurs hit me in the flank. It was a flank charge. Not by a little bit either. I really screwed up my placement bad. I mean, it looked good, but then when we put the little, angle finder down next to him, it was like, I think maybe a quarter of the farthest model or whatever, of the Minotaur model was in my front. Everything else was flank. I mean, it was legitimate flank. It wasn't even close. Meanwhile, his Demon Prince runs over and gets in the middle there because he wants to bubble acquire his little heart out. And all of his raiders, with the exception of 1 unit, charge my chariots and make it. I expected 1, but I didn't think all 3 were going to go in. I figured there'd be some love for my casket and stuff, but it was time to see how well my chariots could do in this kind of combat. It's not like the raiders are great at close combat, but it's not like my chariots are great at close combat when they don't charge, so it was going to be an interesting fight. There's a better picture of his Minotaurs taking full advantage of my stupidity and slamming into the flank of my general, so that was something. And there's a better picture of his Bestigors slamming into my Warhounds because, well, the dogs have to die. And there's a better picture of my opponent taking advantage of my ignorance and slamming pretty much all of his scouts into my chariots. During his magic phase, I'm not exactly sure what his caster gets off or what his Demon Prince gets off or anything, but I lose 2 of my archers, and that's okay. Then over here, oh my god. Okay, so there's a spell, Traitorkin, that makes your mount attack the rider, and you lose your armor save and everything like that for being mounted and all that other good stuff. So he gets that spell off on my dragon. I tried to stop it, and I failed to dispel it by 1. Go figure, right? So the spell goes off. He attacks he attacks my vampire lord with the dragon, and he does 3 wounds, and all 3 get through. Yes, I know. I had a 6-up armor. I had a 4-up ward. Didn't make 1 save. Not a 1. So, yeah, my vampire lord got eaten by his own damn dragon. Oh, man. We were literally sitting there just laughing. Like, can you believe that just happened? So, yeah, that was something else. Traitorkin forces my dragon to eat Lord Tremendous, and that's just not okay.
No! No! No!
Man, I was telling that story all day, too. Man, he got me with that spell, and my dragon ate my general. It was hilarious. Then his shooting phase is irrelevant, so we go into combat, and they beat the piss out of the dragon for eating Lord Tremendous. The Minotaurs in the Doom Bowl were loyal, at least. When all was said and done, though, I ended up losing this combat. I do kill a Minotaur. The dragon is able to eat 1, which was kind of nice. But I ended up taking the dragon has 4 wounds on him in the end, so I'm not doing great there. I do try to turn to face, and I fail. So the dragon's leadership's only 4, so what can you do? But yeah, that sucks. Then over here in combat, my Beastagore or his Beastagore take out my Warhounds without any difficulty. And then they overrun and slam into the Skeleton Warriors. He needed like a 10, a 9 or a 10 to do it, and he rolled a 9 or a 10. It was friggin' ridiculous, but it is what it is. What can you do? So the Bestigores make it into my Skeleton Warriors, no problem. But over here, my Chariots, again, not only do they hold their own, but they make the best out of it, and they weather all the attacks. They don't take any damage, and they're able to basically knock away 2 out of the 3 Vestigore units that are on them. I'm still in combat with the ones in my front, but that's fine. Hopefully, by the end of my next turn, I'll be able to kill them off and be done with them. So we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and for the most part, I don't know. I get desperate, I guess you could say. My stalkers come onto the table, which is nice, and I put them over near the demon prince because I need to start putting some damage on the demon prince. My war kitty slams into the minotaurs because that was the master plan to begin with, and so I figured I'd stick with it. Maybe the war kitty could do enough damage to save the dragon. Meanwhile, I believe my Hex Race slam into his Razor Tusk, his last remaining one, and that was with the hope of killing it and then overrunning into the Gores that are in front, that are kind of like in center left there, and holding them in place long enough for the Vargeist, who are now repositioned on top of the hill there, to not only countercharge, but help the Hex Race win and destroy that unit as quickly as humanly possible. Meanwhile, my Chariots are already in combat, and my Titan and my Casket move around to just try to beat down the Demon Prince in my Magic Phase. There's a better picture of the War Kitty slamming into the Minotaurs because they need to die. And there's a better picture of my Hex Race slamming into the Razor Tusk because it needs to die. It's too creepy. Just too creepy. During the magic phase, I'm able to get +1 attack and cursed blades off on my skeleton warriors, which is great because now I have killing blow and +1 attack. So useful. I mean, I know their armor isn't all that great if they have any whatsoever, but I figured, why not? And plus, it's just kind of that intimidation factor, I guess. I don't know. Then during the shooting phase, my stalkers, for the first time ever, they roll 2 misfires and a 2. I was 1 misfire away from being the worst possible roll. But yeah, I ended up taking 4 wounds on my stalkers. 1 dies and 1's bleeding from the ears. But I'm still able to slip a wound through. Believe it or not, the 2 hits that I got, I rolled 2 6s, which is exactly what I needed to wound this damn thing. So they were looking him directly in the eye. Unfortunately, they had those mirrored sunglasses on. I don't know. The Demon Prince was just lucky as hell. And yeah, I did slip 1 wound through on him, which was nice, but I lost the Stalker for it and all of the momentum. That was my chance to kill the stupid thing, and I failed. My casket, once again, fires away and misfires this piece of garbage. I don't like it right now. I just don't. But over here in combat, the chariots are able to just beat up those raiders that were in front of them and kill them off. And I just kind of slightly reform to look down so I can maybe countercharge the Bestigor that are in my Skeleton Wars if it starts going left field. In combat over here, the dragon gets obliterated by the Doom Bull, and my War Kitty, though, is able to put some serious damage on the, what's it called? Minotaurs. I think it ends up doing, with the attacks up top and everything like that, I think I end up doing like 5 wounds. I kill a Minotaur, and I think the unit champion has a couple of wounds on him. I use my Flaming Breath and everything. I'm just going for broke here. But 5 wounds and a charge to 2 wounds that he did on my dragon. I win this combat by 3, but they're steadfast. And only because his damn Demon Prince is there do they stick around. So what can you do? Then over here in combat, it's pretty brutal. I lose a decent amount of my skeletons. I think I lose like 9 skeleton warriors, and one of which is my unit champion. But I do an okay amount of damage to the Beastagore. Not a ton. I think it's like 6 or 7 wounds total out of over 30 attacks. Kind of a low roll. Not thrilled about it, but it's all right. I think I lose this combat, but I'm not going anywhere. I still got plenty of skeletons left, and he really, other than his Demon Prince, he doesn't really have anything that's in position to support them right now. So I'm feeling pretty good about this combat. And then over here, yeah, my Hex Rays have no problem going through the Razor Tusk and then slamming into the Gores that are right there, which is great because now if they can just weather one more turn, the Vargeist will be able to charge in there and kill them off. So here's top of 3 after movement, and there's been a little bit. His Demon Prince charges into the rear of the War Kitty, which I was okay with. I figured as long as he didn't roll 6s to wound, my War Kitty could weather that. His other unit of Gores runs up into the middle of the table, mostly for spells and buffs and stuff like that. And one of his units of Raiders on the hill rallies, believe it or not, and the other unit runs off the table. So that was pretty much it for movement, I guess. There's a better picture of his Demon Prince slamming into the back of the War Kitty. And his magic and shooting are negated, so we go straight into combat. And if you can believe it, the War Kitty does not do terrible. I'm able to kill off another 2 Minotaurs, leaving 1 left. The Doom Bull is obviously still alive, but his Demon Prince attacks and hits 4 times and rolls 3 6s and a 1 to wound, putting 3 wounds on my War Kitty. Oh, it broke my heart. So with charge, 3 wounds, rear, they had a, what is it? Charge, rear, 3 wounds to my 5 wounds. I lose. I think I lose enough that I don't remember exactly what this total was, but something happened and my War Kitty dies. The math made sense at the time. We didn't mess this up. But yes, the War Kitty dies and I die a little inside. Then over here in combat, the Hex Race whiff pretty spectacularly. I think I kill 1 or 2 Gores. They aren't able to do anything back to me, so charge, flank, and a wound or 2 to 3 ranks and a banner. I think I lose by 1, and one of my Hex Rays dies off, so that kind of sucks. And then over here in combat, I lose like 10 more guys. It's and I take a couple of wounds on my Tomb Prince that accepts the damn challenge from his BSB. The hope was I'd be able to killing blow the damn thing, but I flubbed my rolls pretty spectacularly. And although my unit did make up for it, as you can see, there are very much less Bestigor on his tray right now. But, I think I lose this combat still, but it's starting to go my way, so I'm okay with that. I can out-endurance this unit, and that's really all I need to do. But we go over here now to bottom of 3, and my Chariot slam into the flank of the Bestigors, because it's a tournament, and I need to win. So I go ahead and I just put all the Chariots into the Bestigor and make the charge, so that was awesome. The Vargeist charge into the Gores in the top left there and make it no problem. They did turn to face the Bestigor after winning combat last turn, so it's not a rear like I would have liked, but I still think the Vargeist with charge, high ground, flank should be able to do enough damage that these guys are taking break checks. And other than that, everything else I have is either dead, like dead, or in combat. There's a better picture of my Chariots slamming into the Bestigors, and I'm feeling good about that. And there's a better picture of the Vargeist slamming into the Gores, and I'm okay with this. I'm a little nervous, I won't lie. My magic phase is pretty much it just re-ups what happened. I get Killing Blow and I think a 5-up ward save. Meanwhile, though, we go, my shooting is completely off base again. I think my catapult doesn't actually fail to hit. It doesn't misfire, but it does deviate so far off that it only hits table, and that's it. So again, 3 for 3 shots are just actually 2 out of 3 shots never even fired, and one of which went so far off course they might as well have misfired. So 90 points just sitting in the back doing nothing. Outstanding. So we go into combat, and as you can see, there was a lot of damage done to the Bestigors. I lose like 4 skeletons. He loses 6 Bestigor, but I have charge, flank, banner, ranks to his, I think, 4 wounds, maybe? Yeah, 4 wounds, and so he loses by a ton. He is not steadfast, and they break, and the Chariots run them down. I sent the Chariots after them to run them down because I did want him to get away. His BSB was in there. I knew that unit was a decent amount of points. I knew there was a banner in there. What I didn't think was that I was going to be where I was easily able to be flanked by his other unit of Gores. Ideally, I would have liked to be into his Demon Prince. I needed to roll a little bit higher than a 9, though, so it was unlikely. And as you can see, it didn't happen. but I was really, really not thinking about the Gores countercharging into the flank of the chariots, or the fact that I would not slam into the Demon Prince. So that was pretty foolish on my part. You can see how badly I'm positioned right here. But the Skeleton Warriors, they just kind of reform to face whatever challenge may come their way. Then over here in combat, it's bloody. It's really, really bloody. Like 6 of the Gores and his Shaman die, but they are able to take out one of my Vargeists, and I think I win this combat, but they make their break check because they're steadfast, and so we go to top of 4 after movement. And yeah, his Demon Prince charges my archers with my level 4 inside. His Gores charge a flank on my chariots because I deserve this. His Doom Bowl charges out of his, well, he leaves his buddy alone and charges into my stalkers, and that's fine. They had it coming. And that's really it. Everything else he has is deader in combat. There's a better picture of his Gores charging into the flank of my chariots, and that is incredibly bad. And there's a better picture of his Doom Bowl slamming into my stalkers, and that is incredibly bad. And there's a picture of his Demon Prince slamming into my archers, and that is incredibly bad. His magic and shooting, once again, is irrelevant, so we go into combat, and his Doom Bowl slaughters my stalkers. Just absolutely slaughters them. Not that there was ever much doubt, but yeah, Doom Bowls and Minotaurs scare the hell out of me. However, over here, the combat goes really, really well for me. I kill 8 of his Gores. He does do 5 wounds to my Vargeist, so it was a lot, but my what's it called? My Hexrace really brought it home for me, so that was something. I ended up winning this combat, and they break, and the Hexrace run them down. As you can see, the Vargeist and the Hexrace both pursued, but the Hexrace are the ones that actually caught them, so that was awesome. Then over here in combat, yeah, due to my stupidity and my opponent's ability to pick up my foolish mistakes, or capitalize on them anyway, he is able to destroy my chariots. I think I might have killed a Gore, maybe. I think I killed maybe one back before my chariots disintegrated, but well played by my opponent, stupidly played by me. And then over here, my unit champion steps up and says, "I dare you to kill me, Mr. Demon Prince." And dude looks at him and goes, "I am a she," and grinds him under her foot like a used cigarette. So yeah, that is one archer unit champion that will not be seeing the light of day until my next magic phase. So that's something. I ended up losing this combat, but not by much. I still had a rank and a banner to his, I don't remember, like 2 or 3 wounds. So I do lose another 1 or 2 skeletons on top of the unit champion, and that's fine because the unit's still there, and that's what's important. So we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and I get a little desperate. My Hexrace run through the Minotaur guy, and just to do their Strength 5 hits or whatever. The Skeleton Warriors charge into the Gores because they have to die. My Vargeist backs off. He's only got 1 wound left, and I'm trying to preserve those points. So he backs off behind the tower, and you won't see him again. And then my Titan and my Casket kind of turn around. Well, my Titan anyway turns around to face the Raiders before they can charge into my Casket and blow it up. There's a better picture of my Hexrace. They ran through that last little Minotaur guy and they myrtleized him with their Strength 5 hits, which was out friggin' standing. So that was something. During the magic phase, I'm getting a bunch of buffs off on my Skeleton Warriors, and I believe it was the +1 attack that I got off on them that forced me to miscast, and I ended up miscasting 7.
No! You must not read from the book!
Which causes me to lose 3 Skeleton Archers, not to mention ending my magic phase, and the wound that I try to do to his Demon Prince, I believe I roll a 1 to wound, so that's really, really unfortunate. And speaking of unfortunate, this piece of garbage catapult misfires again. Misfired 2 this time, so it can't shoot this turn or next. Screw this stupid thing. I'm going to finish out the tournament with this stupid thing because I have to, and then I'm going to find 90 points. I'm going to find somewhere to put 90 points. And if I can't, then I'm just not going to take the damn catapult. I'm just going to be 90 points shy in my list. I'm so sick of this piece of trash. 1 in 6 games it's useful. It's not worth it. Then over here in combat, I do pretty okay. I ended up losing a couple of Skeleton Warriors. My opponent ended up losing God, like he lost so many gore. He didn't even bother picking up gore anymore. It was brutal. But with charge, 3 ranks and a banner, and not to, I think I did close to 9 wounds to his 2. Yeah, I win this combat by a ton. He breaks, and it gets run down. The Skeleton Warriors were just not having it from the gore today, and I respect them for that. Meanwhile, over here, the unit champion who just got squished before gets squished again by his demon prince, and that's fine. I'd rather have the unit champion dead than the entire unit. I think I ended up losing 3 more skeleton archers, but as long as that unit can just survive long enough to keep the Lord alive, that's really all I care about. So we go over here to top of 5 after movement, and there's not much. His Doom Bowl slams into my catapult, and everything else, I think his Raiders slam into my casket. There's a better picture of his Raiders charging into my casket. And if you're wondering why my casket is in pieces, it's because it got caught on my shirt and fell off the table. And apparently physics did its thing. And yeah, 2 pieces of it broke off, and that really sucks. So. And there's a better picture of my Doom Bowl slamming, or his Doom Bowl anyway, slamming into my catapult, and I'm fine with him killing that thing. I hope he does it slowly. I hate that thing right now. We go straight into combat because his magic phase is pretty much easy for me to dispel right now. And he whiffs, actually, pretty spectacularly. I don't have a unit champion or anything like that. I think he rolls 4 2s and 1s and 1 hit, and it wounds. And for the 1 Thunderstomp he does, he fails to wound with it. So I take a wound, but I have a banner and a musician, so I win by 1, and he's unbreakable, so he doesn't care. And then over here in combat, his Doom Bowl is easily able to beat that piece of garbage catapult in the ground, although I don't know why he would bother to kill the stupid thing. It hasn't been a threat to him all game. Then over here in combat, the Raiders are able to do 2 wounds to my casket, and I'm able to do 1 back with the Prophet. But with charged high ground and 2 wounds to my 1 wound, I lose this combat and the casket explodes. And the only thing the casket hurts is me. My archers take 4 wounds, my Titan takes 2, the Raiders are fine, and his Demon Prince isn't hurt at all. He makes his ward save, so ugh! Hurts my feelings. So, with tears in my eyes, we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and I got nothing. The Skeleton Warriors turn around to face the Demon Prince. The Archers turn around to face the Demon Prince. Titan turns around to face the Team Prince, or the Raiders. The Raiders did overrun off the table, so it's not like I can do anything to him right now. And the Hex Rays just get a little bit closer to his Doom Bowl, so that maybe after he kill, or maybe in the next turn, if he's close, they can run through him. That was the hope. There's a better picture of my unit champion coming back, though, because during the magic phase, I believe I get +1 attack or something like that. I tried to get the ward save, and he dispelled it. I tried to get something else, and he dispelled it, so I ended up getting the desiccation, the weak one, -1 strength, -1 toughness off on his Demon Prince, and then I think the +1 attack off on my Skeleton Warriors, so, or Skeleton Archers, anyway. I was desperate. I was trying to resurrect guys. And it works, kind of. I ended up losing 4 in this combat. The unit champion was back up, but he got his face kicked in for it, and I ended up losing the unit champion and 3 other models, but I still have 1 left, so I'm hoping that I can survive this one. Due to it being a tournament and everything moving kind of fast and us running out of time, I guess I forgot to take a picture of top of 6 after movement. I apologized. I suck. But I don't remember exactly what happens, but some sort of random magic goes off and kills off 4 of my Skeleton Warriors, which is poop. And then in combat, his Demon Prince is able to finally finish off my caster and my archer, and that sucks. They held in there for a while, though, against the Demon Prince, so I'm not exactly upset with them. It's just I wish I could have saved them. So we go over here to bottom of 6 after movement, and to be honest with you, I got nothing to do. I mean, I got some archers that could shoot at his Demon Prince. I'm not charging his Demon Prince. I'm not doing anything like that. So honestly, we just kind of call it right here because it's over, and that's the end of the game. I know, not much of a difference, right? But this was a hell of a game. Bloody as all get out, and a lot of fun. I got to admit, I haven't played against Beastmen in a long time, so seeing their rules, remembering that whole Primal Fury, and the fact that their ambushers come on turn one, and all that other shenanigans, it was something else. It was something else. It was fun to be a part of. It was fun to play against. And I like that the army was viable. This was a very, very good game. Very close game, very bloody game. I mean, I have two characters, skeleton warriors, a titan, some archers, and my hex race left. He has his two lords and some raiders left. So it's not like... I also have my Vargeists. But it's not like we're going to have a huge victory party on either side of the table, you know? But you know what? We'll get to the recap in a minute, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Banners, banners, banners. Get you some banners. Look at the banners. You are never going to be able to get better banners than this. There is no company, there is no talent scout, there is no entity on the planet that's going to get you banners better than this. Custom banners for your custom army. You want better paint scores. You want that little edge that makes your army better than the guy next to you. Sick of running, going to tournaments and getting that paint score that's just a few points lower than the guy that literally sneezes on his army. And you can't figure out why? Get these banners and make your army really pop, really stand out. Send this guy an email, tell him what you want, and get yourself some banners. It's totally worth it. All right, guys and gals, there it is. Token Gal is back, and she's back in full operation mode of making tokens. So if you missed out before she went and got married and became Mrs. Token Gal, or however that works, this is your chance. Get your tokens now. Send her an email. Send her your monies. Get yourself some tokens. They're dirt cheap, solid gold quality. You're not going to be disappointed. Tell her Tremendous sent you. She'll probably know. But yeah, get these tokens. They're so much better than just using dice. They're so much easier to remember everything. You don't have to worry about your cards getting lost, stolen, ripped, torn, whatever. And, they're glass beads, cool high-def pictures. Totally worth it. Get yourself some tokens. You won't regret it. And Unleashed Wargaming's painting services is back, guys. I took it down for a little bit while I redid the ad and added some of his newer pictures, but as you can see, he does amazing work. He's based out of the U.S. He does solid, quality work to all armies. I mean, you saw the pictures. You've seen the quality. You've seen the vibrant colors and the attention to detail and everything. I mean, that banner is free-handed. I mean, how are you not going to like something like that? So if you're like me, and you hate painting, but you don't have an awesome wife to do all your painting for you, give this guy an email, talk to him about what you need, and he's going to knock it out for you. You're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to be embarrassed when you play your army at, your local store, at GT's, or local GT's at your store, or however the heck you want to play. You'll have a painted army. It's going to be a beautifully painted army to your specifications. How can you go wrong? Send him an email, get your army painted, and quit embarrassing yourself. Tell him Tremendous sent you. But in the end, we totaled up the points, and it was a slight victory for Lord Tremendous. I ended up getting 2,158 victory points from my opponent, and he ended up getting 2,014 from me, for a difference of 144, which, according to the way this one is scored, I think I got like 7 battle points and he got 6, because we completely ignored the tokens the entire game. I ended up losing my Dragon Lord, which was hilarious. My vampire got eaten by the damn dragon.
Nine, 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 nine.
I mean, there are very, very few times that you're ever going to be able to have that conversation. Oh yeah, my general got eaten by his own mount because of a spell. I also lost my Lich High Priest, my Direwolves, my big unit of archers, my chariots, my stalkers, my casket, and my useless catapult. My opponent ended up losing his Wargore, both of his Bray Shamans, all of the Gores, one of his Raiders, one unit of Warhounds, one unit of Minotaurs, his Beastigores, and both units of his Razor Tusks. So it was a very bloody game. But that was a really, really fun one. So much back and forth, and I really enjoyed it. And plus, there was tons of close combat. That's what I love about playing against Chaos. You're always going to get good close combat. My chariots are incredible. I'm sorry, that I lost them the way I did. That was stupid. But I got bloodlust. I didn't want the Beastigores to get away, and I got a hold of them. But it cost me my chariots, and so yeah, the chariots been doing really well lately. I hope that continues. I might have to think about painting them soon. Not a lot of experience against Beastmen. I forgot how crazy or how good in combat they can be. But yeah, that whole primal fury thing where they get hatred every turn if they pass a leadership check, and the Minotaurs getting +1 attack for every combat they win. Ugh, that unit is terrifying. Not to mention the Doom Bull. Oh, Doom Bull's scary. My Screaming Skull Catapult is a friggin' nightmare, and I hate it. I really, really do. I'm thinking that Shelf of Shame is the only place for that thing now. But I'm damn proud of my archers. They stood up to a Demon Prince for 4 turns of combat. It was really impressive. Yeah, they ended up going down after a while, but yeah, there was like 14 units or models in that unit, so I'm proud of them. Damn proud of them. And what they, if they had just lasted another turn or two, that'd have been great. But I didn't have anything left to support them with, so they were pretty much screwed to begin with. Well played on my opponent, by the way. But this is a damn good game. This is a damn good opponent, and I love seeing the Beastmen on the table again. And we wouldn't be seeing Beastmen right now if it wasn't for the Chaos Legion book. So I'm very happy that it's out, and it was a great game. All in all, a great game. And the victory, although it was slight, it was hard earned. I seriously, I have battle scars on the inside. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for game 1 of this local tournament. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.